Jobs, baby. We're talking about jobs.
Jobs. So President Trump, as his own greatest hype man, on Monday touted the, quote, great job numbers since he took office. Numbers that his own administration statistics show aren't all that great. Donald Trump, using his most formidable form of communication, Twitter, said at some point the fake news will be forced to discuss our great jobs numbers, strong economy, and the other successes of his administration. Now, let's actually look at some of those numbers and see what's going on with Donald Trump.
For us,
From February through May, which is the latest data available, after this episode airs, we'll probably have some more job data available, but the United States economy has created 500,094. Did I do that right? 500,094.
Just under 600,000 jobs.
That's a great way to explain it. Okay, now let's compare that to the Obama administration. Now, historically, Donald Trump had been someone that criticized the Obama administration's ability to create jobs. Now,
he also thought, his rhetoric also said that, the Department of Labor Statistics was cooking the books.
Right, but now that he's in charge,
he's praising them.
The books are great. So, comparing to President Obama's administration, Donald Trump has actually created 60,000 less jobs, okay? So as far as 2017 is concerned right now, it's on track to produce the fewest new net jobs in 7 years.
Right, and I think it's also a mistake for every president does this, so I'm not blaming Donald Trump, but I think anytime a president does this, it's problematic. Right, we saw Obama do it for the first 3 years of his term. Everything that went wrong in the economy, he just blamed on George W. Bush.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you get to pick which way you want to go.
Right.
If it's good, you can blame yourself, and if it's bad, you blame the predecessor. Right.
Right. But here's what we do know is that the economy is like a game of Jenga. Is that how it goes?
Jenga.
Jenga. Is that the name of the game with the little blocks?
Where you pull them out. Yep.
Yeah. It's a building thing, right? So the economy, when you build a tower. This brick needs to stay in place, so this brick can go on top of it, and then that brick, and then that brick, and then that brick, and then that brick, and it could all come tumbling down if one of those bricks pull out, as we saw in 2008 with the real estate market.
Yep.
But Donald Trump is benefiting from the fact that for 8 years, whether he likes to admit it or not, there was steady fiscal policy from this White House, even in the era of Republican obstruction. And let me say this, our economy could have been doing a lot better because President Obama had talked about tax reform and lowering the corporate tax rate in exchange for closing loopholes, and Republicans were willing to work with him, but I digress, right? And for 8 years, it was a steady hand. You had President Obama, and you also had Janet Yellen on the monetary side of policy, really working to rebuild, keeping interest rates low, loosening up, creating liquidity in the market so people can borrow money and invest in things. And Donald Trump is reaping the reward of that steadiness. And at minimum, don't say when I got here everything was a mess, is what he said about President Obama, when the president actually turned over a rather strong economy to you. Is it 5, 6, 7, 8, 10% GDP growth? No. But we don't have, it's almost impossible, statistically impossible for America to have more than, if we have 4%
when you are an
GDP
established
growth.
economy, that's just never going to happen.
Steve Mnuchin, who's the Treasury Secretary, has indicated that they're projecting 3% GDP growth for the next year. And I'm like, that is a huge projection when we haven't seen more than 2.5 in the past couple of years. That means you're saying that we are going 10 new industries going to pop up.
Yep.
We're going to have another tech boom or something to get that level of GDP growth. So that is where I think is problematic. But the bad news, I'm going to be the bad news bear. Every time Republicans inherit good economy, by the time they leave office, that joint's in the toilet. Every single time.
You're right about
in modern
that.
history.